to The Surfer, starring Nick Cage. And if you know anything about Nick Cage, he's Sturdy's favorite actor. If you go to Horror with Sir Sturdy podcast and Sturdovision and Popcorn and Pints, that is a guy, a podcaster who and YouTuber who cannot get enough of the great Ghost Rider. He loves Nick Cage so much. And I have to tell him that when it comes to 2025's The Surfer, I don't know if he's going to like this one as much, but I can't wait to hear his feedback. But my feedback on The Surfer, the new movie that just came out, takes place in Australia. Nick Cage plays a character called The Surfer. He's seems to be a businessman who's buying a house that he grew up in. It was his grandfather's house on the beach in Australia. Beautiful location. This movie, from start to finish, is gorgeous. The cinematography is beautiful. They capture the sky, the ocean, just everything, just perfectly. And I loved that aspect of it. And it's an intense thriller at times. He is a guy who wants to buy this house because he loves surfing. That's like his number one love. And he wants to surf in the waters that his grandfather and his father grew up on. And it's so important. So he goes with his son and he wants to go out there, but the locals will not let him surf. They will not let him move there. And slowly but surely, he finds himself stuck there and obsessed with trying to get into that water to surf. And it grows more and more intense throughout. It really does become a good thriller. But I had a big problem with this movie in the way of sort of how the characters sort of interacted and where it kind of went. Nick Cage brings a lot of his eccentricness to this role. Now, he's eccentric in everything. He really is, and we know it. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. And this is one of those ones where I don't feel he fit in with the story and the tone they were trying to tell. It felt very much like a darker take on like a Point Break, which is a dark movie within itself, and I'm using it as a correlation with the surfing and what that means and like what the group is like. That is very much that group from Point Break, Patrick Swayze's group. That's very much how Scally, the main character who kind of runs this cult of surfers, kind of approaches things and how he is. And he's very magnetic in the way he talks. He's played by the gentleman who was in Nip Tuck, and he also played Dr. Doom in the original Fantastic Four movies. I'm drawing a blank at the moment, but did a really good job in this. I liked him. But then when you get down to it and the crux of everything that's happening and sort of how it all plays out, I just didn't love where it went. It seems like it went high and high and high with all of this intensity and then sort of fizzled out in the end. So like when it really came down to it, I gave this a 2 out of 5. It was a good movie. Again, I enjoyed it. I'll probably never watch it again. There are some, again, intense scenes. If you're a horror fan, I think you'll like this. If you're a drama fan too. But yeah, I would classify this more as a thriller, but well done. I like to see what the director does more. I think this is one of his first ones, but The Surfer was one saved for when it's out on streaming, but overall, not too bad. I liked it overall. But it just wasn't a movie that I think Nick Cage fit in person. I maybe would have rather seen. All right, I don't want anybody to get mad at me for this because I love Nick Cage. I do. He's one of my favorites. But his intensity doesn't work in every role he shows up in. And that is very evident in The Surf. But that's really what took the points away and sort of like the fizzling out at the end. I was like, you've built up so much intensity, and then just to kind of bring it where it was, I was like, you're telling a different story by this point. It's like turning from an intense thriller to sort of like a drama. Like, just like kind of it sputtered really when it got there. But yeah, I would love to hear what you guys think of The Surfer. Let me know. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. I think it'll be nice and interesting. But let's get to our next one.